Welcome back. It's good to be here with you all. Hi, Shanice. How are you?
Good, Tricia. How are you doing?
I'm really good, thanks. And I'm really excited to be here having this conversation with our community. This is our second podcast, and we are going to be looking at the 2026 Skincare Trends Report, as well as doing a little bit of spring cleaning.
It's about time. There's some things from 2025 that we just need to let go of.
Exactly. So it's about time that we start talking about the great skin reset, what we're happily tossing in the bin, and the slow beauty movement that's about to take center stage.
Yeah. And the first thing that I'd love to talk about, we explored a little bit in our first podcast, and that was around the Sephora kids. And this whole idea of 10-year-olds using strong retinols, AHAs on their skin, even before their natural skin barrier has time to form.
Absolutely. And I think we've seen brands that were kind of a part of that craze, that tween craze, and really marketing these at children, walk that back. And one example of that is the brand Drunk Elephant, where now they've come out with a safe use list for children so they understand which products that they should or shouldn't be putting on their skin, and all of the products that contain some of those acids or AHAs that you've mentioned now have a off limits to children marketing around them. So
Right.
even though they were really kind of pushing that marketing agenda and craze last year, we've seen the founder and the brand come out and actually say, wait a minute, we need to make sure that people, I think the campaign is called Use Responsibly, which is kind of, or Consume Responsibly, which is kind of funny because it's Drunk Elephant. But anyways, so we are seeing brands take responsibility for that.
Yeah, Kiehl's is another example. They ran campaigns last year really speaking to this and targeting a younger audience with campaigns like Don't Use It, when it was talking about anti-aging products, anti-aging creams. So we've seen that happen as well.
Yeah, that's really great, Shanice. And also that also reminds me of the campaign that Dove had done. And Dove Beauty has done incredible stuff over the last 15, 20 years to raise awareness about body positivity. So it's not surprising that they launched a campaign that was called The Face of 10. And it really was about protecting young girls from the pressure of marketing, but not just young girls, the parents, because it's also preventing the parents from like wanting to also have the kid's birthday party at Sephora and leave with all the products because all the other kids are doing it and all the other moms are doing it. So it really was targeted at both the adult and both the parent. And they've used their platform to really say that kids, a 10-year-old's face should be a canvas for carefree fun, not a wrinkle cream.
Right.
Which I think is incredibly powerful. And then seeing one of those ads kind of like out in the wild, I'd seen kids like playing on the beach. I imagine it was like Tofino because I live here in BC, and it kind of reminded me of that. And the kids' faces were just all covered in sand. And it literally was like, this is the only exfoliant that your child should ever need.
I know, and it really gives us a pause to think about more natural exfoliants. Could be nutshells, could be sand, like you mentioned, could be salt, without adding anything that is synthetic as an exfoliant.
Thanks, Shanice. So now that we've talked about that one, what's next on our list of things that we're looking to say goodbye to?
Another thing that we talked a little bit about on the first podcast, but I think it's time to say goodbye to, is those complex routines. I think folks are getting tired of the 12-step routines, looking in their cabinet, seeing 10 beautiful products, and still asking, why is my skin red?
I think 2025 was definitely a year of burnout for many other reasons, but certainly looking at the skin barrier is what we're talking about today. So now what we're seeing that's replacing the concept of like the 12-step or the complex routine is something called skin streaming.
Right.
So really it's what the industry is referring to as streamlining your routine down to those essential items that really communicate with your biology.
Yeah, I like that idea of streamlining. And along with that, I think there's also an awareness, or customers are paying more attention to quality ingredients. For example, plant-powered ingredients like our fair trade cocoa butter or avocado oil that lock in moisture in your skin without needing all of those different serums.
Yeah, I think you're right, Shanif. It's really about this idea of biocompatibility. So instead of stripping the skin first, which we've heard about with like those aggressive acids and other things, and then trying to fix it with 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 different products, like Skin Streaming asks, what if we just didn't strip it in the first place and then move to a routine of not correction, but one of nourishment?
I love that word, nourishment. And it also sounds like getting to know your skin and really meeting your skin where it's at rather than stripping and then adding more to it.
Exactly. Yeah. So we're happy to see how this concept of skin streaming and biocompatibility is going to show up for brands and formula in 2026. And we will keep them accountable by sharing more about that on future podcasts. Okay, so we have another thing on the list that we're really excited that we're kind of moving away from for 2026.
Dupe culture, and I'm hearing a lot of that even on Instagram, different social outlets, is this idea that a $60 product can be duped for $10, but then is it still as effective? What about the research that went into the product, the quality of ingredients, all of those? So I am ready to let go of dupe culture, which really, to me, is about amassing product rather than number of units, rather than about the quality of each individual product.
Well, I can definitely kind of speak from like our own experience with formulating products, and we know the cost of what it takes to use organic and fair trade and sustainable packaging. And so I imagine taking the product that we're selling to our customers that we're looking to give them the best, most effective, nourishing product at a price that, you know, can be affordable to them, and then thinking about taking that and trying to half that or quarter that or even like divide that by 10. I can't even imagine how that product would have the same effect or that you would be getting the same quality of ingredients. And so I think also what people are also thinking a lot about is like conscious living. Like when I buy all of these products and at the end of the year I look at my medicine cabinet or even look in my cupboards and look in my fridge, there's a whole bunch of stuff that I didn't use because I bought it because of a trend or because of something that I thought that I needed. All of this is then ending up in landfill. So not only did you not get the product that you wanted, you're also now ending up putting a lot of things in landfill because, as we know, not a lot of packaging can be recycled, particularly here. So it also is like something that's impacting your wallet, it's impacting the planet, and then you're not ending up with that high quality product in the end that you wanted.
Exactly. I think it is better to invest in one jar that has quality ingredients that you know work for you, rather than 5 jars of ingredients you may not be familiar with, promises that may not come. And like you said, they'll end up in the landfill or not have the impact on skin that the consumer is looking for.
We're going to spend a bit of time now talking about some of the kind of concepts and ideas that we hope show up a lot more in 2026.
Okay.
And one of them that we want to talk about is this idea of psychodermatology and the benefits of rituals. Okay. Psychodermatology, it sounds like a big word, but what it really just means is acknowledging that our stress levels show up on our skin.
Okay. Yeah, in 2025, we saw a lot of instant fixes where there were promises of creams that reduce signs of stress in 5 minutes. And we're learning.
I want one of those.
I mean, if that was on the market and it was ethical, sign me up. But we know, like you just said, it's the cortisol levels, and it's not a instant fix. So I'm happy we're talking about this and that movement towards slow rather than instant repair.
So we know that when you're enjoying the moment, when your stress levels are down, that your cortisol levels start to drop. And when your cortisol levels drop, your skin's inflammation drops. So essentially, this is the slow beauty hack of 2026.
Amazing.
I know, right? So if we can all like take a few more breaths, be a bit more in ritual, reduce our stress levels, and that'll certainly change how that is showing up in your skin and on your face.
I feel like we spent years focused on clean beauty, but what I understand of that is it's a list of no's, what not to put on your skin.
Totally.
No parabens, no silicones, no additives.
Yeah, I think that's exactly it. But also, when we think about the word clean, clean doesn't always mean effective. It doesn't always mean gentle. And you can still have clean products that are still highly irritated because your skin doesn't really recognize the molecules of the chemical makeup of the ingredients that you're putting on them. So in 2026, we're moving towards describing this as moving beyond clean and into biocompatibility.
I love that term, and it is new to me. But as I understand it, it's essentially skin intelligence.
Yeah.
Your skin understands what it knows what to process, and it's introducing those quality ingredients like biomimic lipids and plant-based ingredients.
Right. And kind of to put that in sort of like layman's terms, it's basically the difference between like a stranger knocking on your door and a friend or a family member showing up. Which would you rather prefer to kind of put on your skin at the end of the day? Something that your skin knows, that it can openly and accept and really will be loving and gentle, or perhaps something that you don't know if you open up the door or open up the jar and put it on your skin that you're just going to react in that same warm, welcoming way.
Right. And that's the real secret to the glow, right? Introducing or using ingredients that your skin is already familiar with rather than a 12-step routine is just allowing that natural glow to shine through.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. So, over the last little bit in the podcast, we've covered some things that were trends for 2025 that
Right.
we're happy to not see happen in 2026. We've covered some new terms, some technical terms like skin streaming or biomimic. Some people
I'll
have
learn how to
easier
say that
time
word.
saying them than others, but we do want to make sure that we're kind of talking about the trends and what we're seeing out there,
Yeah.
and then we'll keep an eye for how those are showing up and have more conversations with our followers across our various channels. But before we leave 2025 totally behind, I have a little game I'd like to play with you, Shanif. Are you up for that?
Sure, let's do it.
And it's something that I'm going to call keep or toss.
Okay.
So I'm going to mention some top trends of 2025.
Okay.
And you can tell us from your point of view, is it a keep or is it a toss?
Okay.
So the first one, glass skin.
Toss. Give me velvety, healthy skin.
Nice. How about the 15-minute home facial peel?
Toss. Give me an overnight regenerative treatment.
Okay, what about fragrance-free everything?
Ooh, this one. Toss. I think intentional use of fragrance or intentional use of essential oils like lavender to calm or sandalwood for more grounding is where I would go.
And maybe that was kind of a trick, toss or keep, because the right answer was to toss them all, which you did. Okay. Well, and then my last one, I may know the answer to this one because we've touched on it in several points earlier in the episode, is this whole concept of anti-aging marketing.
Toss. I think allow the skin to age more gracefully and really focus on ingredients that help maintain skin biology, healthy skin biology over a longer period of time.
Great. Well, thank you for being a good sport about that. And thanks to everyone out there for listening. This is going to be a wrap on our second episode here on the podcast. And we thank you all for joining, and stay tuned for episode 3.